Last question, please.
Hey, so this doesn't really have to do with racism in schools, but I was just wondering to help um, end racism, when my generation grow up and get married and have kids, what should we tell our kids? That there is a difference between the races, or that we aren't different and we're all equally smart and athletic and all that, or that there is a difference, but it doesn't have to be that way, or it's not a big deal kind of thing?
Wonderful question. What do we tell our kids? Well, there's really two storylines. The first storyline is that we're all human beings, and our DNA is pretty much the same. You know, what makes somebody human really doesn't have to do with the color of their skin. However, everybody doesn't believe that. And as a consequence, some people don't get the chance they really want because of it. Your kids will respond the way you do. So let me give you an example. My daughter, when she was a little girl, her best friend was a little Chinese immigrant girl, Zion, never forget her. And my daughter's a big, tall girl. My daughter's now 6 feet tall. My granddaughter's 6'3". I mean, I'm the shrimp in the family. But Zion was a little petite little girl. And I remember Zion came to my house one day, and she said, "Where's the white Barbie?" I said, "What?" I said, "Zion, I don't have any white Barbie." She said, "Why?" I said, "Well, Zion, a white Barbie wouldn't feel comfortable living here." She said, "Why?" I said, "Well, you know, there really aren't any people like her here. And so she would just be so uncomfortable in this setting, and she probably wouldn't like what we eat, and she certainly wouldn't want to go to church with us." And while I'm going through this list, rationalized, Zion said, "Oh, there she is. There's the white Barbie." Now my head is on a swivel like that woman on The Exorcist. Who bought this white doll in my house, right? It was a black Barbie doll in a wedding dress. For Zion, that's the white Barbie. Because she was new to the country. She didn't, she knew that Jessica was her best friend. I don't really care. Her skin color was irrelevant. Now, fast forward a couple years, we moved to Wisconsin. And a year after we moved to Wisconsin, Zion's family moves to the Chicago area. Father takes a job in Illinois. And so they want to get the girls together. They haven't seen each other in a couple years. I guess they were in kindergarten together. They're probably in maybe second grade, maybe third grade by now. And so the Chu family comes, they get Jessica, they take her skiing with them. Then we decide we're going to keep Zion over Christmas at our house. And I overhear these kids having a conversation, and Zion says something about being yellow. And my daughter says, "Well, Zion, when we were in California, you said you were white." And you hear this, just the tone of her voice, she says, "Yeah, I didn't know." And all I could think of is what has happened to this child in the intervening years, that someone has said, "You don't get to be white." I mean, she was saying I'm white from the standpoint of my skin complexion is, quote, a lighter skin complexion. But someone corrected her. So I don't know that you can insulate your kids from the way in which racism is operating outside.